Guys, good morning. Hope you're well. I meant to do this yesterday, but as you know, I live life at 1,000 miles an hour, and I tend to have about 68,000 tabs open and get distracted every single time. So good morning. Thank you for coming in and gifting me your time today. I want to talk to you about energy and intuition and how you must not ignore things you see and feel about people. Now, I think I've spoken in the last couple of videos about narcissism, and I've mentioned a gentleman called Leon R. Walker Jr., who is actually a diagnosed narcissist himself. He gives a lot of very, very valuable information. And I watched, I think it was a 2-minute clip the other evening. I was actually painting and shuffling tarot cards at the same time as watching Leon. Like I said, she's 68,000 tabs open. And he said something and my head spun round like the Harry Potter owl, and I rewound it and watched it again. And it was so pertinent. I actually sent it to one of my best friends because it was something I'd noticed in past relationships, and it was something that was quite stark. And when he identified what it was, it actually made me feel a bit sick. And then I had a bit of a think about it and thought about since I've been out of that energy and the changes since. Now, it also got me to thinking, the domino flick, about past energies way back, decades back, and they link. Everything links. You just need to understand where you're joining the dots, what picture you're painting today. So he talked about demonic funk, and he talked about how you can smell red flags. And I don't mean just spidey senses. I mean physically smell bad energy. It's not unwashed. It's not closed 2 days running. It comes from your soul. Energy does not lie. It really doesn't. Good energy doesn't lie. Bad energy certainly doesn't lie. And people do show you who they are. They do tell you who they are, pardon me. It's just up to you to listen to them. When someone tells you what they are, believe them. One red flag I'm going to say to you is this, and I've thought about this, and this has happened to me in a few past relationships. This is not aimed at anybody specifically or personally. Any of my content is not aimed at anyone specifically. This is life experience. When you get to 48 years old, you accumulate quite a box set. Not a tramp, but half a century's worth. There's a lot of experience there, okay? Now, if someone ever says to you, I'm too good for you, I'm not good enough for you, take heed of that. Because even if it's just insecurity, it's wanting you to either massage their ego, reassure them, or tell them different. A confident, evolved energy would not say that. It's not playing victim mentality. It's not trying to draw someone in. It's not... And it's certainly coming from a place, I think, there's a certain element of codependency there. But when they tell you that they're not good enough for you, listen to them, because they're telling you the truth, because they're probably not good enough for you. Someone that feels they're not good enough for you but knows that you deserve better and knows that they must be better will often just do it. Will often just take the steps and go ahead and work on themselves and do it. Okay, it's very easy to talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? The proof of the pudding is in the eating, my late mother used to say, and she was a very wise woman. As an adult now, I understand this. So you probably noticed what I'm doing with tarot cards in my hand. Yes, tarot is coming back soon. There's been a lot of pre-shuffles. There's been an incredible amount of sword fighting going on in these cards, and a lot of truths coming out, a lot of cycles being closed out, and a lot of healing, strong energy. It's whilst it's not a smooth ride on a beach, it's by certain means progress. So collective. Be excited, but buckle up. What I'm going to say, going back to the smelling red flags. no matter how many baths you have, no matter how clean your clothes are, no matter what aftershave you put on, or perfume you put on, this is not gender specific at all, sometimes there's a smell. And whether your intuition is picking it up and linking it to your physical senses, you can't hide it. And that smell comes from someone who entertains too many energies, that has a darkness about them that's not been addressed. When someone puts themselves about a bit and they're promiscuous and they're lying and they're inauthentic, Source will reveal that to you. It will. And if you sleep with that person and you have intimate relations with that person, sometimes you can smell it on you too. When you spend a respectable amount of time away from that person, you notice the aroma around you changes. Now, what Leon said was, he spoke to his therapist and they said there's too many, how many people you're seeing, 3, 4, 5, he's saying, and they're saying, stop it. And he said it's demonic funk, you cannot mistake it. And he said when he stopped, and he'd been through therapy, and he took a break from promiscuity, from messing about, from energies, from inauthenticity, he noticed his core aroma change. That is very, very, very pertinent. Go and watch him, Leon R. Walker Jr. I'm going to put his name in the bio. Seriously do. He's quite brutal. It's quite shocking. So if you're not prepared for truth and a little bit of don't watch him. But he's honest. He tells it like he is. He is extraordinary for growth. Leon, if ever you do watch this, I'm telling this, you're doing some good in the world these days. Okay. But it comes from a diagnosed, recognised, self-admitted narcissist. He is very, very good for reference, for education and for growth. Watch him do. Also, one thing as well is if you see someone who you have some kind of relationship with, I've just seen 0707, and your heart races, okay, and you feel nervous and you get that premonition, that horrible, really uneasy feeling in the pit of your belly every time you see them, that's a warning. If your anxiety levels shoot up, just the sight of them, even if it's just on the road, or you bump into them and your heart races and you can't keep your blood in check and your cheeks flush and your ears burn and your breathing stops being as regular as it is, that is an intuitive sign. Please pay attention to that. Sometimes someone will say something and instantly you know it's BS. Sometimes they say it and you can't shake the feeling out of your head that they're hiding something, that there's a deceitfulness. Sometimes you openly get told in here, if you're an intuitive and you're an empath and you're listening and you're open, you intuitively get told. Also, more often than not, if you open yourself up and you speak to the divine, they often get called out during dream time. That happens to me quite a lot, and I've never been wrong. And the amount of times I've woken up and I'm just like, oh God, no, please don't tell me this is true. I've documented it. Absolutely 100% it's come out every single time. I'm not lying. The last 20 years or so, every single time. So be prepared for the messages you're going to get. Process them, take off your rose-coloured glasses, be open-minded, but hold your own dominion. If you get an uneasy feeling about someone, or just sometimes there's people you encounter and they're not even romantically connected to you, but they may be romantically connected to someone you know, and you look at them and your spidey senses just yell, all wrong. All wrong, completely wrong. Listen to that. It's not your business if it's to do with someone else, but that's your intuition, just reminding you that it still works. Intuition doesn't speak as loud as fear. Intuition sometimes is a good thing. Most often than not it is, but I tell you one thing, it never is, and that is wrong. Your fear always shouts louder because you listen to it more, okay? Your intuition is the small little voice that just keeps nudging you when you're distracted by other things, okay? Sometimes it can shout really loud, but more often than not, it's a little quieter than the fear. So listen to your intuition. Your fears, sometimes in very, very rare instances, are interconnected with your intuition, but it all depends on the work that you've done yourself to evolve. Okay, be all right with yourself and the world, and surrender to the process, have faith. And as you know, when I talk about surrender, it's about having more control because you're completely trusting the process. So more talk on that. Listen to your body, listen to your spidey senses, use discernment. But yes, more often than not, you can smell demonic funk. You can smell demonic, bad, dark energy. And I can tell you this, darkness walks upon us in abundance. Doesn't matter how far along the line in a relationship with someone, if you feel there's something not quite right about them, sometimes they'll openly admit it, but you'll dress it up and put a pretty bow on it. I'm going to say this, you can't polish a turd. You can wrap it in glitter and stick a nice bow on it, but he's still a turd, just wrapped in glitter with a bow on it. Someone tells you what they are, believe them. Someone shows you what they are, believe them. There are no misunderstandings or mistakes, especially in the early days. Okay, and generally 3 months is about the best behaviour limit for someone, but sometimes the beauties show it to you an awful lot earlier. Sometimes they show it to you before. What vibration are you in? What spiritual energy are you in? And again, I'm going to also do another shout out to Derrick Jaxn. I watched his Evolved Men class webinar last night, just out of interest, to see if it correlated with the personal work I've been doing here about past mistakes, what I want from life, how I'm growing and evolving, and what season were you in? Not stealing your content, Derrick, but I'm just saying, everybody get over and watch Derrick Jaxn. He's absolutely unbelievably awesome. If you can get onto that Evolved webinar of his, do it. Him and Leon Walker Jr. are awesome. They're very good for growth. They're very informative, and they tell it how it is. Okay, do get over, watch them. Educate yourself. Don't sit there listening to Love Tarot all day, praying they're going to come back sitting by the window like a soppy git. Don't do it. Get on, do the work, understand and educate yourself, but most importantly, celebrate yourself. Look forward to each day. Look forward to every opportunity. Get excited when the Death and Tower and the Devil comes out in a triple card spread like I do, because change is good. Change ruffles the feathers, change lifts the dust, and it clears it out. Guys, I've just seen 12/12. Today is Saturday, the 4th of March. Just for my reference, it is coming into spring, okay? Brighter days ahead if you're here in the Northern Hemisphere with spring, but brighter days ahead wherever you are. Watch these people, do the work, speak to the divine, seriously. Be prepared for the answers you're going to get, and even if they're not what you wanted, they're what you need, okay? But above all, stay excellent. Know who and what you are. Adjust your crown. Love yourself. You are all that in a bag of chips. Thank you so much again for gifting me your time. And thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes. Absolutely awesome. I'm absolutely stoked. So thank you to my community that are ever supportive around me. I am incredibly grateful, thankful and blessed. So guys, that's it from me for now. Take care of yourselves, and we'll connect soon. Stay cool. See ya.